The difference of opinion began when Assange decided to put all of WikiLeaks' resources into the giant American disclosures, and it's now grown into a serious source of discontent regarding how the organization should be run.
I think the wisest thing to do would have been to do this slowly, step by step, to grow the project. That did not happen. What happened was to pick out the biggest releases, to release these, to put all effort, all resources, everything we had into producing these releases.
Other voices join in the criticism, some through anonymous media interviews, and now it's Assange's turn to look for leaks. This is an extract from a chat between Domscheit Berry and Assange.
If you preach transparency to everyone else, you have to be transparent yourself. You have to fulfill the same standards that you expect from others. And I think that's where we've not been heading into the same direction philosophically anymore.
The argument ends with Daniel and several others quitting WikiLeaks.
Eventually this ended with me arguing with Julian about basically his dictatorial behavior, which ended in Julian saying to me that if I had a problem with him, I could just piss off, I quote.
Those who quit the organization build up their own site on the quiet, OpenLeaks, to be run without an authoritarian editor and serve purely as an online distribution service, helping people deliver material anonymously to the media.
OpenLeaks is a technology project that is aiming to be a service provider for third parties that want to be able to accept material from anonymous sources.
Well, I'm inclined not to talk too much about the few people that have decided that their interests are not with the WikiLeaks anymore. But what I hear is that some of the people are, contemplating to open up their own website, with the same ideal as WikiLeaks, and I think that's an excellent idea, and I wish them well. I think it's the more the better.
WikiLeaks continues to pursue its set strategy, which leads to massive media reaction when the next part of the material is published.
I can't think of any case where a satellite news channel, the BBC Radio World Service, terrestrial channels and broadcasters and their internet are all going to go at the same time on a story.
This disclosure is about the truth.
They're the secret files from the Iraq war.
Internetplattform WikiLeaks.
Det är webbplatsen WikiLeaks som publicerat omkring 400 000 sidor hemligstämplade amerikanska dokument.
So let me just say, with regards to the allegations of not intervening when coming across detainee abuse, it's not true.
The Iraq leak hits the headlines around the world. Thanks to Assange's strategy, the leak has a huge impact and greatly boosts WikiLeaks' resources. Now 40 volunteers are brought in to work more or less full-time for the organization, with another 800 people available for specific tasks. WikiLeaks are well into planning the release of future disclosures. But first, there's still the final part of the US material to be released.
For this latest release, we have chosen a different methodology. We have tried to pull it out over time, rather than having it all go out in one hit.
This time, however, the new material contains disclosures, the consequences of which are far harder to assess than previous releases.
Nu är de ute, de första av tusentals handlingar med hemlig amerikansk diplomatpost.
The United States strongly condemns the illegal disclosure of classified information.
In a storm of criticism, WikiLeaks are accused of threatening world peace. Are they and their media partners sufficiently competent to gauge the consequences of releasing hundreds of thousands of diplomatic dispatches, covering everything from nuclear reactors in Iran to Saudi Arabian domestic policy? Or is it again a matter of the end justifying the means? For Christian Whiten, things are much simpler than that.
I think Mr. Assange is actually waging political warfare, too. He's not using weapons, but he's not using purely soft things either, like words. He's using information, wielding information against us, if you will. That, to me, is what political warfare is.
By and large, WikiLeaks is a force for good. I think you can't just be absolute on this. WikiLeaks is very, very powerful, and I think one has to be cautious of anything that's very, very powerful in life.
WikiLeaks' website may disappear again tomorrow, or it may suddenly reappear in 1,000 other locations. History is still in the process of being written, and the rape allegations are a long way from being settled. One thing's clear. Whatever happens, WikiLeaks has sown a seed, a thought that's impossible to erase. It's about new ways and new channels of disseminating classified information that'll have a profound effect on transparency, not only on the net, but in a broader global dimension.
Well, what I really learned in the last 3 years is that a difference can be made bottom-up and not only top-down.
Information does not respect borders. States are going to have to rethink how they approach information. Any state which fails to do this will cease to exist.
Well, you know, if we're going to have a military and a defense policy, it's predicated on having information that is controlled. Of course, we're a democracy. We're one of the most open countries, I believe, in the history of the world. But information has to be protected in certain circumstances and denied to the public.
Democracy without transparency is no democracy. I mean, that's just an empty word.